Welcome to Mums at the Table. And how are we all today, ladies? I hope we're doing well. I'm here with Rachel, and we've got some amazing guests today. Who have we got?
We do. So Gia will be talking to Amanda. She's our dietitian, answering some of your nutrition questions. We've also got Fiona, who's going to be chatting to Dr. Simone. So she's our GP, talking about women's health today.
Excellent.
But what we're going to do now is talk about special gifts and those lovely, gorgeous gifts your kids make for you and give you. And we had some a mum on our Facebook page write into us about a very special gift her child created for her. She said her 4-year-old mixed her $30 moisturiser and her $20 lipstick and some bronzing powder in a cup while, you know, Mum was cooking dinner, brought it to her and said, "Here, Mum, happy Valentine's Day."
Oh, great.
No, those are the special gifts, aren't they?
Yeah, no.
Oh, you don't know whether to be heartbroken or
send them to the naughty corner or what to do.
I know. So what do you do when your kids make you those really special gifts? And when I say special, it's obviously special to your kids.
Yeah, I've hidden them. Shh, don't tell them. I've hidden them or thrown them out. I've kept some of the more precious things. I've got probably maximum 5 from each child. That's about it. I'm not very sentimental at all. Yeah.
I know someone who's not sentimental and she's taken photos of those things and kept them that way, and that's her way of sort of, you know, building a memento, maybe put them in a book or something like that.
Yeah.
My kids love to create stuff. I get letters, I get drawings all the time, and I love them, and I keep the ones that are special, but there are just so many.
Yeah, there's too many.
And I'm not complaining, but I am a little bit, like, because there's just so much. And, you know, she's even cut up some of my reports for work. And, OK, yes, I have to reprint them, but I'm like, oh, I've just got to keep all paper and scissors high.
Well, I think the thing that I've kept the most of is the birthday cards and the Mother's Day cards. I've kept those because I'm a scrapbooker.
Yep,
so I scrapbook those with photos and things around them. And I think those, for me, are precious because it's got their words of love and their handwriting, and you can see how they've changed over the years. Yeah,
oh, look, they can be precious gifts. I had a friend give me a book called The Mother Lode, so it was all about becoming a mum, and I went to find it to give it back to her, and my daughter had drawn all over the cover inside. I'm like, well, ain't that the truth? The Mother Lode. I was so embarrassed to give it back.
So did you have to go and buy another one?
She just laughed at it, like it was an old book, so it was okay, good friend. But kids can be very precious like that. Have your kids used anything expensive in your house or driven you nuts with some of those special gifts that they provide you? We would love to hear those stories. You can jump onto our social media and let us know all about it there.
Hey, thanks for joining Dr. Simone and I for a chat. We're talking about gastroenteritis. More specifically, though, how it affects women who are breastfeeding. Is there a chance that we could pass on gastro to our child if we are breastfeeding?
Well, look, the first thing I'll say is that when you're breastfeeding with a new bub and then you're sick yourself, the most unfair situation in the world, because you're sleep deprived and then you go, oh my goodness, I'm compromised and I still have a baby to care for.
Yeah.
In terms of the technicalities, will the virus or the bug pass through breast milk? No.
Good.
So
keep breastfeeding.
Keep breastfeeding, absolutely. If you stop breastfeeding, then you'll get mastitis as well as gastroenteritis, which is
you do not want
so a bad combination.
Yeah, that's a whole different topic.
But the things that we do need to be really mindful of is, while you have gastroenteritis and you're breastfeeding, you're more prone to dehydration. You're going to be utterly exhausted as opposed to just very tired.
So true.
And you need to look after yourself and call on that network of yours around you, if you have that, to help care for bub. So if your partner can tap in, if there are grandparents or friends who can come and help out so you can get some rest. But the absolute keys are to be making sure you have enough fluid on board, and if you need to take any sort of simple medications to keep that fluid down.
What medications?
So medications like Maxilon or metoclopramide, which is a prescription that you can get from your GP.
Yes.
Helps.
So you can take something.
You can take that to help with things like nausea and that sort of thing.
It won't affect the baby.
Won't affect the baby. Safe to take. And the most important thing is that you maintain your hydration so that you can keep producing milk.
Right.
If you're dry everything's going to dry out.
I think they also have the hydrolyte. Is it like
Hydrolyte, yeah, those rehydration
fluids
is really important as well. Probiotic supplements are an excellent thing to take when you're breastfeeding anyway. And then when you have gastro, it helps to repopulate your gut with good bacteria so that they can fight off the nasty bugs going on.
Is there things that, as mums, we can also do to prevent our baby from, you know, catching gastro?
The key things are being additionally conscious, additionally diligent about your hygiene, especially when you've either had to use the bathroom or if you've had to vomit or those sorts of things. Be particularly careful about washing your hands, cleaning,
always wash your hands.
Those sorts of things. And again, if you can have someone help out with that, takes a bit of the load off of you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Simone. I think there's some great tips there. Keep hydrated, wash your hands. Hygiene is so important. Look for awesome tips like this and so much more. Keep it locked right here at Mums at the Table.
Hi everyone, we're back with our nutritional segment with Amanda. Hi Amanda.
Hi Tia.
Thank you for coming. We have an amazing question today because I've always thought about this from Becky. She posted on our Facebook group. Thank you, Becky. It was about oils and what sort of oil should you cook with? You know, there's so much information out there about oil and we just want to know, can you explain a little bit about all these popular oils on the market at the moment?
Oh, it can be really hard to decide which oil to use because as you said, there are so many available. So let's look at it from a nutritional perspective first.
Okay.
So the first ones we have are olive oil and avocado oil. So these are both extra virgin.
Right.
They're quite similar in terms of their nutrient profile. So they're both made up predominantly of monounsaturated fat, which is a heart healthy fat as it lowers
good fat. Monounsaturated.
it lowers the bad cholesterol levels. They also have a little bit of saturated and polyunsaturated fats as well.
Okay.
The next one is sunflower oil, which has a lot of polyunsaturated fats in it, which is, again, a good heart-healthy fat because it lowers the bad cholesterol and also increases the good cholesterol levels.
That's why you've got the butters that come out with...
Yeah, that's right. It has a little bit of monounsaturated and saturated fat too. Then we've got canola oil, which has a lot of polyunsaturated fat as well. But what's different to the sunflower is it has omega-3s, which are really great for heart health.
And brain.
Yeah, that's right. So it also has some monounsaturated fat, a good amount of this, and is the lowest in saturated fats. The next is rice bran oil. So this has similar amounts of both of the unsaturated fats and is also quite high in the saturated fat.
Okay.
Now, saturated fat is not so good for us because it actually increases our bad cholesterol levels. So best to not have too much saturated fat.
Right.
Last one is coconut oil, which is made up of about 92% saturated fat.
Saturated fat?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, that's right. So I guess from a nutritional perspective, it would be these 4 oils that are best because they have more unsaturated fats and less saturated fats. So they have been shown to reduce our risk of heart disease.
Okay, and so what about cooking? Because I guess that's the question Becky's asking as well.
So from a cooking perspective, first of all, so these 3 oils are more processed and more refined. There's more heat and chemicals processes used to extract the oils, whereas these extra virgin oils have less heat, less chemical, no heat, I should say, because they're cold pressed. They're less processed.
Right.
That's right.
Right.
So these extra virgin oils, with heating, they produce less trans fats. Now, trans fats are worse than saturated fats because they increase bad cholesterol and they reduce the good cholesterol levels.
So they're like bad for your body.
They're really bad. And then these more refined oils produce more trans fats with heating than these ones, but still at reasonably low levels.
But if you were someone that, doesn't want to think about, how they're cooking and stuff, what oils would you suggest with the information we're talking about so far?
I guess there's one more thing I wanted to talk about, and that's just with cooking. It's also been shown that higher temperatures produce unhealthy compounds as well.
Okay.
But more so in these refined oils again. So if I were to choose oils to use with, I would be saying, first of all, cook at more low to moderate temperatures rather than with high heat for
Yes.
all oils.
Yes.
But these two here with the lower saturated fat, good monounsaturated fat profile and producing less trans fats and unhealthy compounds would be
They would probably be the best
better
ones to sort of
the
choose
better
if you didn't
two
want to think while you're cooking.
to choose, but also just having a variety of different oils in your diet so you can get the different nutrients and the different types of fats, good fats.
Thank you. Thanks, Amanda. That was a lot of
problems.
information, guys. Thank you so much, Amanda, for coming today. We'll see you guys with more questions next time.
Hey, thanks for joining Dr. Peter Wood and I for a chat. We're talking about complications during birth. This
It's a big
happens.
subject.
Yeah, because we, as mums, we plan. We go in with some sort of a plan.
And childbirth
Yes, is not.
is a natural event, which sometimes you can't control. Most of the time, it goes very well, and there are very few things to worry about. But sometimes things don't go quite right. And so let's talk about the basic things here. Either you come into labour spontaneously, and you're not progressing in labour. So either the baby's
water's
too
broke.
big, water's broke, or and they might have put some medicine to make the contractions increase.
Yes.
But things are not progressing. That might be the indication that you need a caesarean section.
Okay.
And
how long do they give you?
oh, it's I can't say exactly.
Case by case.
Case by case.
Okay.
But you've always got time in these situations to talk to your doctor or your midwife
Right.
and discuss what's going on. And is there anything else they can do to try and help you progress?
I think it's important what you said. It's a natural process.
Yes.
Let it be a natural process.
It works well most of the time,
Yeah.
but occasionally needs some help.
Yeah.
And so that's, one of those things that may happen. About 1 in 10,000 births, there'll be some screaming emergency,
Right.
which is obvious to you and your partner that baby needs to get out right now.
Okay.
And that might require forceps delivery, or it might require emergency caesarean section. Not very common that a decision can't be even talked about, it just has to happen.
Okay.
Most of the time, there's plenty of time to be able to talk to you about what's happening and why they need to take that intervention. So
Right.
if you're at the stage when you're fully dilated and starting to push the baby out and things aren't progressing there, your obstetrician may then offer to assist the birth with a vacuum or a forceps delivery.
Okay.
And these, again, are things that are safe if done under the right circumstances.
Yes.
And your obstetrician will discuss those things with you.
Okay. What are ways that we can, prevent these complications from happening?
Well, look, the best thing is to just be relaxed, okay? If you're fearful in labour, fear stops, it releases adrenaline, which
Right.
stops oxytocin from being released, and that can muck the whole
we
thing up.
need to relax.
Just try. It's okay to say it hurts. It's okay to get help, but try not to be fearful and get all wound up.
Tensed up
Yeah,
and-
yeah.
yeah.
So you might need a caesarean section because you're not progressing, or if you're fully dilated and you're not actually progressing there, you might need help with some instruments. Occasionally, the baby's heart rate may have a problem. There
Right.
could be the cord around the neck, or there could be a problem with the placenta. There's a certain pattern of the fetal heart rate that we all look for, and if that happens, there may be need to intervene. Again, it could be, need to progress to caesarean section, or it may be in time to do an instrumental delivery if the baby's showing some signs of a heart rate problem.
Yeah, look, Dr. Peter, I think it's so important that people know that these things can happen.
They can happen.
Be aware of it, and more importantly, let go and let God.
Okay, so how do you create wealth for your kids? Now, this is a topic that is an ongoing topic,
Yep.
so it's something we know. Things are changing, we want to keep on top of all that stuff. But how do you create wealth for your kids? And why isn't a bank account relevant anymore, do you think?
Well, I'd like to take it a step back, because quite frequently we talk about wealth and how we generate it with our kids. But let's talk about how we teach our kids about money, because there's some really good tips in the upcoming article in our magazine.
Mums at the table.
Mums at the table. And a couple of them that I'd like to talk about was teaching them how to play with money. So let them have a shop. Let them handle money, or, let them make little plastic credit cards that you can laminate. And
Oh, plastic credit cards, you want them getting on top of that at a young age?
well, look, honestly,
Conservative mum here.
there are games out there now like Monopoly and a few others that actually use credit cards rather than cash. And for our kids, well, for your kids, not mine, but for your kids, that's going to be the way that we go. So they need to understand that money comes from credit cards. It's not necessarily going to be cold, hard folding cash like we used to. Money comes out of a hole in the wall. So they need to understand that concept. So let them play with it. Let them...
Love the Monopoly idea. My
Yeah.
kids are loving that, and that's been a huge teaching thing for them.
Yep. So imagination. Let them, you know, play shops. Let them play washing cars or generating wealth that way. I think as your children get older, you need to have the conversation with them that money just doesn't need to go into a bank account. They're not going to get the interest that we used to get once upon a time.
True.
So talk about, how do I generate wealth? How do I create wealth in other ways? Maybe you've got an entrepreneur like I had, and you've actually got to talk about, how do you run a business? How do you start a business? It could be just running the lemonade stand at the front of your house, which has become a big thing again.
Well, that is it from us today on Mums at the Table. Shona has had some great advice. I always have to listen to her money stuff. She's a business guru. Don't let her tell you anything else. But that is it from us. We will catch you next time. Don't forget, we've got our e-newsletter that we would love to keep in touch with you. Articles, videos, all that sort of stuff. Write to us, hello@mumsathetable.com. We'll see you next time.